A story of a veteran and his patriotic song by Legionnaire Rick Pushies. The veteran is Irving Berlin. The patriotic song is God Bless America. Irving Berlin was born in Siberia, Russia in 1888. The Berlin family was forced to leave their home when he was a young boy, and they emigrated to America. After his family was processed through Ellis Island, they settled in the Bowery section of Lower Manhattan in New York City. As a young man, Irving Berlin's talent as a music composer soon began to surface. Berlin's musical career began with the publishing of his first song, for which he received 33 cents. During his career, Berlin wrote over 1,500 songs that earned him many millions. In 1917, Irving Berlin was drafted into the United States Army for service during World War I. By then, he was so famous that the headline of one New York paper read, "Army Takes Berlin." While serving at Camp Upton in Yaphank, Long Island, New York, Irving Berlin was approached by his base commander about producing a show to help raise money for a community center on base. Irving accepted the challenge, then wrote, produced, and performed in the all-soldier musical revue he named Yip Yip Yaphank. With a cast of 300 soldiers, the show is performed in a theater owned by Irving Berlin in New York City for 8 weeks and raised over $150,000 to help build the Camp Upton Community Center. When writing the songs for the Yip Yip Yaphank show, there was one song that Irving wrote but never included in the 1918 show. It was God Bless America, which was essentially a patriotic prayer. Although this was one of his most impressive songs, upon final review, he did not feel it fit the mood of the upbeat musical review. So, Sergeant Berlin tucked God Bless America away in his foot locker. 20 years later, in 1938, Irving Berlin was an even more successful songwriter and lyricist. America was in the depths of the Great Depression. A third of our nation was out of work. Soup kitchens and bread lines were common across the nation. Kate Smith, who was a very popular singer and radio show host in the 1930s, approached her good friend Irving Berlin and asked him to write a patriotic song that America could rally around. Irving accepted the challenge and went to work right away. But things did not go well as he tried to write a patriotic song for his adopted country he had come to love so much. Then he remembered the song he wrote for the show Yip Yip Yaphank in 1918, but never used. God Bless America had been hidden away in his old Army footlocker for some 20 years. After rewriting the lyrics and modifying the melody of his 1918 version, Irving Berlin finally published God Bless America. Because this was a patriotic song, Irving Berlin refused to receive any financial gain. So Irving Berlin created a non-profit organization that funneled all the proceeds from God Bless America to the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts of America. God Bless America has produced over $10 million in support of our scouting programs since 1938. The first public performance of God Bless America was by Kate Smith at Carnegie Hall in New York City on Veterans Day, November 11, 1938, the 20th anniversary of the end of World War I. When many people think of God Bless America, they also think of Kate Smith. Conversely, when many think of God Bless America, they hear Kate Smith singing. On 11 September 2001, shortly after the terrorist attacks on America, members of the United States Congress held a news conference on the steps of the United States Capitol to show their support for our president and our nation. Hundreds of leaders stood on the steps of our Capitol, and many spoke. When they finished, many remained obviously stunned by the evil that had attacked our great nation. They just stood there, not sure what to do. Then from within the crowd of leaders, a single voice was heard singing God Bless America. Soon they were a single unified voice singing a most heartfelt performance of God Bless America. It touched my heart.